Hi guys, my name is Matt, Super Shoe here on YouTube, and I am your guest sensei for today. Victor contacted me about doing a guest sensei video for him back in November of 2011, and I've just been putting it off because I've been really busy. Or I forgot. Anyway, just a little bit of personal history about myself. I am a South Korean born, American raised Gaijin living in Fukuoka, Japan now. That's pretty much the whole story. And I don't know if this is exactly what Victor was looking for when he asked me to do a video, because I was actually adopted by a Caucasian family. So Victor wants me to do a video about racism in Japan from an Asian Gaijin's perspective. And I was raised pretty much with Caucasian values in a Caucasian system with Caucasian friends. And is it too PC just say Caucasian? It feels weird to say it. I don't even really say it normally. I kind of like it because it has the word cock in it. Technical term for people like me is a Twinkie. Think about it. So I'm still going to try to give you a little bit of insight into what it's like being an Asian Gaijin and racism that you deal with in Japan. And I'm guessing that he's wanting racism from Japanese people, but honestly, I don't really notice it so much. And this is because I grew up in America, where I faced a fair amount of racism growing up, living in southern parts of America. You've got people that are ignorant and don't know any better, and there's name calling, there's just really strange statements being made, just showing off the people's ignorance, and even I had rocks thrown at me one time by some kids. But in Japan, not so much. Japanese people are very polite, and even if they don't like you because of your race, they're not really ones to show it. Plus, as an Asian Gaijin, I look, for all intents and purposes, like I could very much just be Japanese. And they tend to give me the benefit of the doubt, at least until I open my mouth, and then they're like, "Man, your Japanese sounds really weird." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, but I'm from America." And they're like, "Oh, awesome. Well, you speak Japanese, that's really cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, and I've been here X amount of years." And they're like, "What's wrong with you? Why can't you speak better Japanese?" Probably the main form of racism that you'll notice as an Asian Gaijin in Japan is trying to find a job. If you're trying to find like an English teaching job or something like that. And that's just because English teaching jobs, they a lot of times want someone who looks like a foreigner. Maybe a black person or a white person or something. And I personally did not really run into this that I was aware of. I mean, I did have some instances where I sent off my resume and my photo, and then they were just like, "Yeah, you're not exactly what we're looking for, but we'll let you know if we change our minds." And that could just be because I have a terrible resume, or it could have been the photo that I sent them. I don't really know. However, there is another YouTube user on here under the name of PS Kim 731, I believe. You should guys check him out. He has an excellent video about some difficulties that he had personally trying to find a job in Japan. He is also a Korean American. Personally though, I did not have any of those issues. And actually, I mean, I get treated really well here in Japan. And I don't know if that's just because Japanese people are nice or if it's my dashing good looks. When I go shopping, I get a lot of freebies and stuff like that. When I go to the fish market, I get discounts. When I go to a farmer's market, they throw in a lot of extra stuff. And I don't know if that happens naturally. I don't know if that's just something that normally happens to Japanese people because I'm not a Japanese people. So I have not noticed much racism in Japan, honestly. And it's kind of refreshing. Now, I have had a couple run-ins with the Yakuza. They don't seem to like people that look remotely Korean. And honestly, I mean, I do look Korean, but most people figure it could go either way. And nothing too serious. They've just yelled at me a couple times angrily about Korean, stuff like that. But nothing too serious. One interesting story that I'll share with you, I think I've told it to people on my channel, but there's not that many people there anyway. But I was doing an interview for a local cable news company, and they were interviewing Gaijin that live in Fukuoka City, or around Fukuoka, in the Fukuoka area. And they came to me, and I actually have a German last name because I was adopted, and the face doesn't fit the name really. So then they're asking me, they're like, "So where are you from?" I'm like, "America." And they said, so where are you from? I'm like, well, I was born in Korea. And they're like, oh, okay. And then on their little pad they jot down Korean. So kind of funny. So then we have a lot of Koreans out here in Fukuoka because we're really close to Korea. It's like a 3-hour boat ride away or 20-minute plane ride, I think. So yes, Japanese people do judge you by your looks right off the bat, and by my looks, I look like I am a Japanese person. They give me the benefit of the doubt. If you are a person of Asiatic descent, they will probably give you the benefit of the doubt. If you are not, then they will probably assume that you are not Japanese, which is probably right, but don't hold it against them. If you do live in Japan, or if you're coming over to Japan, one thing that I think you should keep in mind is think of yourself as a type of trafficker of sorts. And I use that word because I've been watching like a lot of Breaking Bad and drug-related television and movies. It's just a phase I've been going through. But trafficking has negative connotations, but you can be a trafficker of anything that you want. And just think about what you're bringing over with you when you come over. And is it a positive attitude? Is it an open attitude? Is it friendly? Is it a smile? Is it just what are you going to bring over with you? And hopefully what you're bringing is tolerance, peace, love, and just what stuff that you love. Because whatever your passion is, there's going to be people in Japan who share that passion, and Japanese people love to share their passion with other people. Believe me, I've had to do way too many things that like I showed a slight interest in, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in a garden digging up potatoes. Yay! Oh, I'm in a snack bar surrounded by young, beautiful women. I don't really like talking about racism because, I mean, it's not such a huge deal to me because yes, I dealt with racism all of my life living in America, growing up in America, and in Japan, it's going to play a little bit of a part of my life here, but I don't let that type of stuff define who I am or how I feel. And everyone's entitled to their own systems of belief. If you want to be an insensitive and ignorant prick, that's fine, I don't mind. It just gives me something to laugh about it later. Well, I cry inside. No, I don't cry inside. Sometimes I do. Are we still recording? So guys, I just want to say thank you to Victor for having me on his channel. Come check out my channel, Super Shoe, at YouTube/Super Shoe.